Baby, be in love with your fantasies. I can be a star, make us shine so bright. Welcome to my dungeon, this is ecstasy. Let me play the fantasy.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Asia.
And it's your boy, BJ. And we back like we never left. Shout out to the family. Thank you guys for tuning back in, pulling back up for another reaction. I feel like this reaction is going to be like no other reaction. One main reason is because I don't know what the hell the Mandela effect is.
Y'all.
Some people been explaining it to me. You've been kind of explaining it to me.
I done tried to break it down for him, y'all. He is like, what?
And you gave me an example. You was talking about like the Monopoly game or something like that, and I was like, you was like, did you not notice that he never had something on his eye? And I'm like, we played Monopoly a thousand times. Of course, he had like the little eyeglass.
The little monocle.
Yeah, that's
thing
what you
on
call
his
it.
eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you was like, no, babe. If you go back and look at it,
He
the
doesn't
front
have
he
that.
doesn't have it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I need a better explanation as far as like what the Mandela effect is.
Yeah.
And I hope this video comes through for me.
I feel like people who have like experienced the Mandela effect, like it's so trippy. It's one of them things where you like, no freaking way. Like what? No, that can't be right. Like, so.
That's why I'm kind of geeking right now. When you talked about the Monopoly, we had to go back and like look at it, and I'm like, I played that game so many damn times, and I remember it being one way.
I was even, y'all,
So.
okay, I'm not going to give you any more examples because this is going to explain it, but then I want you to see videos so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
I got you.
Okay, so, all right, make sure y'all like and comment, subscribe, smash the notification bell. Let's get into this video, y'all.
The Mandela effect finally explained.
Who is this person? Wrong. There is no Elvis Presley, and there never was. This rock and roll icon's name is actually Elvis Presley. Now, of course that's not true. His name is Elvis Presley, but the earth-shattering feeling you just experienced is what some might call the Mandela effect. And you're gonna wanna buckle up.
Shout out to Mandela.
The Mandela effect is a real phenomenon described as when a group of people adamantly believe an incident or experience occurred that never did. Scientists at the University of Chicago described the Mandela effect as, quote, an internet phenomenon describing shared and consistent false memories for specific icons in popular culture. They found that it is both empirically observable as well as, so far, having no clear explanation. The term was created by a self-proclaimed paranormal consultant, Fiona Broom, in 2009 after she discovered she was one of many people who wrongly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, while the South African civil rights leader lived on until 2013. In one of the most popular instances of the Mandela effect, people adamantly claim that there's a 1990s movie about a genie called Shazam, and starring actor and comedian Sinbad. The obvious explanation would be that those who remember this are simply confusing this with the 1996 film Kazam about a genie starring Shaquille O'Neal, and conflating it with one of the several Sinbad movies from the same time.
You lying.
See? Are you getting tripped out a little bit by that? It's kind of Yeah.
Okay.
And conflating it with one of the several Sinbad movies from the same time. In a smaller instance, take a look at this image of the Pokemon character, Pikachu. Many fans of Pokemon remember the character as having a yellow tail with a black tip. However, Pikachu's tail has never had a black tip. The Mandela effect has also shown.
Isn't the Pokemon on Trey's wall like?
We need to go in there and go look. So it don't have a black tip.
I don't know. Now looking at this picture, but see, you see what I'm talking about?
They lying.
I feel like he's always had that tip like that.
Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
like
even
it was a
watch
colored tip.
Pokemon like that, but I feel like I've always seen him like this with the black tip.
Tail has never had a black tip. The Mandela effect has also shown up in instances regarding how people remember movie lines. For example, one of the most widely quoted movie lines in the Star Wars franchise is spoken by Darth Vader in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Many people remember the line as, "Luke, I am your father." However, the words spoken are actually, "No, I am your father." Similarly, in 1937, Disney released Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and although many people still quote the line, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" this is not actually spoken in the film. The actual line begins with, "Magic mirror on the wall." Now, I must mention that I too have personally experienced this phenomenon. Like many others on the internet, I grew up with a popular children's book series that I thought was the Berenstain Bears, only to find out that it is now, and always was, the Berenstain Bears. But how could this be? Some believe the Mandela effect may be due to the...
Hey, they gotta be lying about that. Somebody done lied to me.
I promise you, the only way I remember the Berenstain Bears was it's Stein.
Right.
I've always known to spell it that way.
And not even that, but I thought it was spelled Bern, like Bernstein.
Berenstain.
I think they doing something to trick us. Because as a kid, I read so many Bernstein books. Is it Berenstain or Bernstein? See,
Bernstein.
now I'm all confused.
The Berenstain Bears.
It's Bernstein, man. I'm going with Bernstein, y'all.
And we both wrong because it's Berenstain. Berenstain Bears.
I never noticed that. AIN, I've never noticed that.
Many worlds, or the multiverse theory of quantum mechanics. In this theory, people like Broom are not misremembering, but instead, their reality got crossed with another. Though it's now popular in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the many worlds interpretation theory was developed in the mid-20th century and basically states there are many worlds which exist parallel to our own in space and time. The theory was originally developed by Erwin Schrödinger as a way to explain a phenomenon in quantum physics and purports that there are no alternative outcomes to events. All outcomes happen simultaneously. In 1955, Hugh Everett, a then PhD student, introduced the idea of the universe, quote, splitting into alternate versions of itself when faced with a quantum choice. Each possible outcome of a choice creates a new universe, and these universes are identical up until the moment where the event is triggered. It might go without saying, but just in case, quantum physicists in the 1950s developed the many worlds interpretation theory to explain experiments in quantum physics, and not the Mandela effect. But by this logic, both timelines, the one where Mandela died in prison and the one where he lived until 2013, exist, but in separate realities. Those who remember one reality but find it didn't actually happen are not misremembering. They may have lived in one universe and somehow switched into another. Or reality itself has shifted. But since there's no Doctor Strange or Green Goblin in the real world, how and why might our realities be shifting so wildly? A popular explanation for how realities are shifting involves CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. Some believe that CERN is conducting experiments that have caused us to enter an alternate reality, and their Large Hadron Collider is at the center of this conspiracy. The Large Hadron Collider, which opened in 2008 and was recently turned back on in July of 2022 after a hiatus, is the world's most powerful particle accelerator and was created to help scientists better understand the structure and building blocks of the universe. This idea has gained traction on TikTok, where a supposed whistleblower has gone viral making claims such as, quote, CERN is opening parallel dimensions that causes the change in climate. It has long been a topic of fear and conspiracy, but when it was announced it would be going back online, some conspiracy theorists and fans of Netflix hit sci-fi comedy musical show Stranger Things spread rumors that it would open a portal to an alternate universe.
I literally was thinking Stranger Things when they started talking about this other portal and dimension. Was that what you was thinking about?
Like when I first went to figure it, like understand it for what it was, like, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of was Stranger Things.
So he started talking about that. I'm thinking, I was thinking about the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Stranger Things spread rumors that it would open a portal to an alternate universe. As more conspiracy theorists have started discussing CERN's work on TikTok, CERN particle physicist Claire Nellist has taken to responding to some and sharing more about her work with the Large Hadron Collider. I've seen a lot of videos going viral making claims about CERN, And when I see that, it tells me we need to communicate even further because they're getting informed by the conspiracy theories they hear. But not everyone believes we're living out the plot of Marvel's Phase 4 or 5. I don't know, I can't keep track anymore. Some people have a more technological approach and think we're actually living out the plot of the freaking Matrix. As explained in a video that I also made, and is, in my opinion, worth a watch, some believe that reality as we know it is simply just a simulation, and that we are either being controlled or confined by other beings. This scientific theory can be traced back to a seminal paper about the simulation argument from 2003 by Nick Bostrom, but the theory was widely introduced to many people by the 1999 science fiction movie, The Matrix. The concept of a simulation even has its roots in ancient works like Plato's cave allegory or Zhuangzhou's butterfly dream. If there were an error in the simulation and the programmers fixed it, it could lead to false memories, offering a possible explanation for the Mandela effect. As is theorized, a simulation might be created to see how we might react to certain situations, and alternatively, the mistake could actually be on purpose, as our programmers might hope to make us suspicious to see how we might react to that. Essentially, any awareness of a simulation could in fact be part of the simulation itself. What makes many of these theories compelling is that although you cannot prove them, you also cannot definitely disprove them. The biggest flaw in the idea that the Mandela effect is caused by the many worlds interpretation is that the theory only works along the understood lines of quantum physics if information cannot be transferred across worlds. So for the same reason the idea seems plausible, it must also be rejected. As for CERN's work with the Large Hadron Collider, the board of the International Mandela Effect Conference has said CERN is just as valid of a theory as any other at this point. However, one of its members has also noted that the, quote, earliest Mandela effects were happening long before CERN's Large Hadron Collider fired up. In response to conspiracy claims, a spokesman for CERN said, quote, CERN's research captures the imaginations of lots of people, which is why CERN has been featured in a lot of science fiction books, even movies around the world. But excluding the idea that we might be living out the plot of the Multiverse of Madness, Stranger Things, The Matrix, or any number of the Cars movies, there are possibly real-world explanations. According to a 2020 study in the Journal of Psychological Science, 76% of adults made at least one detectable error when asked to recall information. Even though most test subjects scored very high, most people's memories are still capable of making even a small mistake. Some believe that the Mandela effect is the result of our brain reconsolidating memories. MRI research has shown that memories are stored in our brains nearby to similar memories. Caitlin Amote, a neuroscientist, explains, quote, memories are organized in the brain so that similar memories are stored in nearby neurons. When a memory is recalled, those cells are able to change their connection, which allows for the addition of new information. But because neurons that fire together wire together, sometimes false memories can emerge from erroneous connections. For example, if you learn that Alexander
I probably could believe that a little bit more than than the particle accelerator, the hedron. Maybe I know this is not a word, but sometimes people just misremember things.
That's true.
I feel like that might be my case because, like I said, even going back to the Bernstein Bears when they just brought that up.
Yeah.
Like my as far as my memory could recall, it's always been spelt one way, and and I've never seen it spelt BERESTAINE.
Yeah. But doesn't it trip you? Like even what he's saying though is kind of like what, like alternate universes crossing and connecting, and like that's how you misremember things. It's like they're changing your reality basically. Like who though? Who? Okay, because I need to talk to them. Where do they exist? Is my question.
Exactly.
How do I get there?
Yeah, this is kind of mind blowing, but this is very, very interesting too. A lot of great information in this too.
Hamilton was a founding father at the same time you learn that he was not president, but other founding fathers were, you are more likely to misremember that Alexander Hamilton was president because neurons fired when asked about Hamilton were also fired when asked about presidents. A popular example of this could be found in the case of Nelson Mandela's death. In 1977, another anti-apartheid activist, Steve Biko, did die while imprisoned. Both Biko and Mandela were leaders with similar achievements. It is therefore possible that people who remember Mandela dying in prison have actually just woven the memories of these men together. Additionally, the internet might be participatory in a certain amount of suggestibility. According to Amote, suggestibility is the tendency to believe what others suggest to be true. This is why lawyers are prohibited from asking witnesses leading questions that suggest a specific answer.
Wow.
There is also research to prove that when false information is given to us by someone else, it can actually weaken the fidelity of an existing memory. So if someone was to suggest that you had read the Berenstain Bears, your brain might create a memory of you doing so.
Like, before the internet, I doubt everyone individually decided that their least favorite word was moist. Perhaps prior to Reddit, people might have met stinky or rat trap with similar disdain. And I'm sure if given enough time, you might also be able to come up with an instance or two where large groups on the internet have fervently formed communities around, to put it nicely, wrong information.
Another theory might also be that people just can't admit when they are wrong. According to scientists, many people tend to believe their own memories over someone else's. This could be due to ego protection or cognitive dissonance, the state of knowing conflicting information but still resisting a change in opinion or behavior.
Whatever the reason, this one's a real head scratcher. It also seems that each instance of these false memories could have their own case-specific explanation. What we do know for certain is that at this moment, all we have is the here and now. So be nice to yourself and everyone around you, and maybe nobody will misremember you as being anything but.
That's how you end the video right there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, so what you think? You think it's just the cross the neurons and your brain just misremembering
I think people just
things?
be misremembering things. Because like I said, and he brought up a good point too, as far as like if you thought of something or you remember something being a certain way, it's almost like you can't let the way that you've cognitively thought something was, it's almost hard to let that go because you're under the impression of that's how it is.
Yeah, or there's the possibility that someone told you something and then you believed it to be that way as well, and so that's the way you also
interpret it.
Yeah, and
based on somebody else's.
Right. So it's like, I wonder how often that happens though. I would just be curious, like if someone told you like the sky used to be purple. And you go, oh yeah, it did. It used to be purple.
And then you go outside tomorrow and you go look up at the sky and it's purple, and you're like, and then somebody else next to you is like, no, it's blue.
It's always been blue. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So Berenstain is spelled Berenstain.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go back into like the deepest recesses of my mind and my memories and go back to like 3rd and 4th grade. And try to remember exactly how that book looked when I would open them up, because I read too many of those books. But this is a good video. I also would like to know of other instances where there are other like Mandela effects, other things out there in society. That'll be good to know too.
Do you think? Okay. No, I'm just gonna let you see because I want you to see videos of it because I just want you to just be tripped up. Like I thought it was just me.
Things are getting strange.
Yeah.
Things are getting stranger and stranger.
Stranger Things, the Upside Down.
Yeah.
So basically, it's almost like he was explaining, it's a parallel universe until it's not. Like until something, I guess, happens to make it different in the reality of that universe. Yeah. So.
And that's the key word, in the reality of that universe.
Yeah.
Is the main thing.
How do we all get on different universes, but we all see each other though? That's the thing. Like.
At some point in time, we all were walking on a different plane, a different dimensional plane, I guess.
I know, but I'm saying
if
we all see each other physically, like if we're all walking past each other physically, how do we end up in an alternate universe and see things or remember things differently? You understand what I'm saying?
And I feel like that has to come down to like each human's interpretation of what they're seeing. based on what your eyes are seeing and that information being related back into your mind and your brain.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's what makes us all different at the end of the day. But this is literally like a head scratcher. I'm gonna be literally thinking about these two things all day.
Yeah.
We talked about the Monopoly, and then he just brought up the Bernstein, which I'm literally gonna sit here and refute. Even though he sat here and gave me proof, I'm still holding on to Bernstein.
Yeah. Well, wait till you hear about Mickey Mouse and the Wizard of Oz, and I guess whatever else.
What about the Wizard of Oz?
I don't know. I saw something that popped up about the Wizard of Oz as well. So
okay.
I don't know about that because I've only seen that movie just once. Like the one time we watched it.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that one, but I saw that it came up. So I was like, wait till you hear about the Wizard of Oz. But Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
How well do you think you know him?
You know what? I think I know him, but I might not know him as good as I think I know him.
Okay. We're going to see. I want to go and see
I'm
the
here
video,
for it.
y'all, and we'll watch it.
I'm here for more examples of the Mandela effect.
Yeah. Well, we got to check it out. Y'all leave us some links if y'all want us to check out some more Mandela effect videos. But
Hell yeah.
if y'all enjoyed this, give us a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, smash the notification bell, and shoot, if ain't nobody else told you today, I love you. We're going to see y'all in the next video. Yo.
Peace and blessings. We out.
Yeah.